Contrast uncut, yeah, you know that's us. Where we only speak the real and the real rock with us. Where we motivate the people and politic on success. Oh no, we ain't DJ Khaled, but they swearing we the best.
What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 5. This is my child support fraud spotlight episode. I want to give a huge shout out to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. It's your host, Xylo, and today we have an incredibly dope special guest. He's from the CPT, the city of Compton. He's an entrepreneur, rapper, songwriter, and recording artist. He has been in the rap game representing the West Coast from the group The Young Hogs, Hustlers Out Getting Green successfully. And that was stamped by rap icons like Ice Cube, Dub C, 50 Cent, Young Jeezy, Juvenile, Bone Thugs, and Harmony, just to name a few. Now he's on his own path with a successful account-based t-shirt printing company. And then to his latest signal with the game 2 times. He's putting in work in double time. And then, you know, the reason why I named this spotlight episode is this brother's doing a documentary. It's child support fraud. And if you don't know who I got on the show by now, it's all good. We get all episode to chop it up with, you know, TJ Wit the Scar, aka TJ Santana. How you doing, Eric?
What it do, man? Thank you for having me. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain, bro. I just came back from tour, bro, so my voice is all chopped up. I'm trying to work with it, but you know, you roll with the punches.
Yeah, we gonna make it. We gonna always make it do what it do.
Come on with it. I gotta tell you from the jump, time's the most finite thing we have on this earth. So I appreciate you fucking with me, fucking with the viewers, and you know, taking the time to rock with us.
For sure, man. Like I said, thank you for having me, and I'm blessed to be here.
Amen. So TJ, brother, what's the normal 24 hours for you?
A normal 24 for me. Up early in the morning. 6:30, getting the kids ready for school. Right. Drop the kids off. Then usually I'm ripping and running downtown, grabbing t-shirts and doing what I need to do downtown and here at the shop. So right now I'm here at my shop. So I'm here prepping everything, getting ready for the day, running the shop, South Bay t-shirt printing, 11 to 6. And after that, or in between time, I'm running other businesses. The child support is fraud, the South Bay t-shirt printing and managing my music career. So it's a whole lot going on during those work hours. And then towards the end of the day, I'm back on TJ with the Scar. And whenever I make it home, that's when I make it to the crib and still doing work and waking up and doing it again. That's right. You know, I got to shout you out from one dedicated father and husband to another. I got to shout you out for being a dedicated father of 3 and a husband. It's a job that doesn't get recognition and, you know, it doesn't require it. But, you know, we have to uplift all of us being there, providing and giving your time. Because, you know, that's one thing the kids love to spell. And it's not money. It's TIME. And you know, I could definitely tell from the background and, you know, from the interviews that you provided that you know, you're an upstanding person when it comes to being a dedicated father and husband. So I got to salute you, man. Oh, man, I really appreciate that. And I mean, that tells me that you really done your research. Like it rolled right off of your tongue with just, it was effortless. Like, yeah, with the 3 kids and like you knew everything. So now I appreciate that, dog. Like, I appreciate that. And I salute you as well. Oh, all love. So I got a quote. You know, I try to go with the spirit when it comes to these quotes. The viewers and the listeners know you don't know what I'm finna tell you. And I just want to know, you know, what comes to your mind? How does it relate to you? Here we go. Okay. I think the worst thing you can do about a situation is nothing. Ice Cube. First thing that comes to my mind, I can feel that because, like, I just think about situations that I've been in the past to where I knew the truth. So I didn't care what nobody else said. And then I let it linger. So people was able to create in their mind of what they thought may have happened or what transpired. And in the long run, once we came around, whether it was years later, months later, and we actually dealt with the situation head on, it was like, man, that shit could have been settled long time ago. So I 1000% concur that the worst thing that you can do in a situation is nothing.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So, I don't do suspense in real life. I'd rather just get it over with right then and there. It's either get off where you're mad at or come to a liaison in the conversation.
Right. And agree to disagree. Whatever the situation is, you just, if that's what it's going to be, then that's what it's going to be.
That's right. All right, TJ, talking about the music game, the entertainment world. Did the game choose you or did you choose the game?
The game chose me. I started creating at a very young age. I didn't know that I knew how to, it just happened one day. I had the Minds Playing Tricks on Me tape. I had the maxi single. The maxi single, it had the single, at the street, the clean, and had an instrumental on there. And then one day I just started rapping. So I didn't know that I knew how to rap. It wasn't my dream. It just came about. And from that point, I left it alone and got back to it later on with my cousins, and it chose me. It's something that it's in me. Like, no matter, somebody told me this just the other day, it was like, no matter what you do, everything that you've done in your life, you always double back to the music. It won't let you go. It always pulls you back in because it's a part of you. It's a part of my DNA. Like, and I concur with that because it feels good to be back in this space right now. Like, it feels natural to me because this is who I am.
That's right. That's right. Now, music is medicine, especially when you can create it and other people can have their dose of sympathy and relation to it. You're helping millions at today's time. Streaming's everything.
For sure.
What would you consider your first confirmation that music's what you're supposed to do? Would you say when it was, we got with the Young Hogs? Or would you say it's when you guys got stamped? Would you say it was the first time you put something on wax and you knew that was it? Like, when was that confirmation that, this is the path I need to keep on jumping back to because it's my backbone of how I'm moving?
The first time I got on stage. Like, me in my personal life, I'm a reserved person. If it ain't really too much to talk about, I ain't saying shit. But the first time I got on stage, I felt something. Just that interaction with the crowd, like TJ transforming to TJ with the Scar right before your eyes. Like, people that have seen me perform, like, who is this dude up there? Like, I'm standing on speakers, I'm animated, but in my personal life, I'm real reserved. So, like, it's just the first time I knew it's just being on stage is nothing like it. Like, I love being in that setting, even when it's not even creating, just going to football games, basketball, in arenas and stadiums. Like, I feel at home. It's like, like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
So what part of when you hit the stage do you get activated? Is it as soon as you touch the mic and you're off stage and you're about to hit the stage, or as soon as you step foot on the platform, or is it as soon as you say something the crowd reacts?
Soon as when I come out, it's on. Like literally right before I go on stage, I got the jitters in my stomach. It's the butterflies that they going. But soon as when I open my mouth and walk on the stage and the lights hit, the switch is on. It's go time. And I pretty much blank out and I'm just doing, and I come back once it's over and it's like, man, that's what it was.
Hey, I don't want to be too far off topic, but I feel like in a different life, you was definitely a part of 300 and you was battling like a warrior in the previous life.
Man, it feels like that. Like when you on stage, for me, everything is nothing even matters. Everything is completely blanked out. The lights is on you, and it's just go time. I zone out, like, and that's how I knew. Like, just being on stage, like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's right. Your diversity is showcased through your music and interviews, and especially how you impact your business. What was it like for you growing up, and how did that impact your movements to your success you see today?
That's a good question. The growing up, I mean, I pretty much grew up just like every urban story. It's just we didn't have much. But the thing is, what I realized is, as an adult, we didn't have much, but I never wanted for anything. Like if my mother and my grandmother were struggling, I never seen it. I never felt it. Like we've always had great Thanksgivings, Christmases, holidays, birthdays. I never seen the struggle, but knowing hindsight as an adult looking back, I know we didn't have much, but I never experienced any type of, there was no lacking anywhere on their behalf. So today, like I try to implement that in my own life as far as with my kids and my family, like to be able to provide my children things that I wasn't able to have. And like, I really had a great life. Like, as far as like with the streets, like I got into the streets, I didn't have to do that. Like my grandmother and my mother, they raised me right as a good child. And I got into the street just because, just being a boy doing what I was doing. But I want to create a legacy for my family. Like that's my goal. And that's how I'm moving, because I want to create a legacy to where I think about it like this. Like my grandmother, her grandmother was literally dealt with slavery. So that, and you're not that far removed from the civil rights. So my parents, their parents were just fighting for equality, just to be equal. So it wasn't, yeah, we had a house, but it was nothing about passing nothing down. It wasn't about legacy. This generation that we're in right now, we have access to so many tools to where if you don't create a legacy for your offspring, it's pretty much on you, because the tools are there. It's pretty much on you. Like you have access to so many things to be able to be successful. And my main thing is legacy. I just want to create that legacy for my children, to be able to have something tangible once there, so that can pass down to their children.
Something to hold, something to grab. We also where NFTs is the next thing. So, don't be afraid of the next set of knowledge you can give them that they can sell, because it's their personal knowledge.
For sure. Most definitely.
So
yeah, like as far as the NFTs, I haven't really dived into it. I'm aware of the situation, but for me, like I'm a tangible type person. I need to be able to relate to it. I can't just dive into something that I'm not genuinely interested in. There has to be some sort of interest. What sparked my interest was the Tory Lanez situation. I said, oh, this guy put this NFT out and sold out in a matter of minutes, made over $1 million in minutes off of music. So for me, now I see how I can use this. And then to even gain more knowledge to venture off into other things in that realm. So that's just who I am and how I move as a person.
Come on, that was a bar right there. That's taking it back to when Nipsey was selling $100 mixtapes.
Right.
Next level. And music on NFTs is next level, especially if you can make your own money without an outside entity.
For sure. And on the street level, it's always not really cutting out the middleman, but you wanna reduce the amount of hands that touches the pie. Because those slices get chopped up real quick, and you'll be left with the crust.
Come on. all the good shit gone. The big bags are gone. All they got is just the little papers and the rubber bands for you.
Man, that's it.
I feel it's always somebody that invests in an idea or puts someone in a position to reach their dreams. Who do we owe to thank you for investing into your dreams?
Really, the people that invested in my dreams, the homie Baby, he was the Young Hawks' first CEO. He put a lot of bread into it. Now you got to think during this time, it wasn't the digital world. Like we're still recording on reels. So those studio sessions were $1,300 and that's for the C room. So we put in a lot of bread, and my homeboy Didi, he was our second CEO. That's when we started doing the Up West mixtapes. They molded us to as far as on a business level, because they were street guys and they had business sense, but they had no knowledge in the music business. So they really relied upon myself and T-Mac to actually run the business. So we're artists and running the business at the same time. And they were just pretty much putting up the finances. So I as far as like investing into our careers or my career, I would give it to Punch, Baby, Didi, and even Drayster. Like Drayster navigated, he facilitated everything for the Young Hogs. Everything that came about for the Young Hogs, it came about through Drayster. And opposed from the times of where he was incarcerated and we started moving on our own. But other than that, those are the guys that I get a credit to.
You know, I met Drayster randomly at a party back in like 2008. And then he tripped me out because he was like, yeah, I wrote the Killing 187 album for
me. But Easy, yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, no, it tripped me out. Like, you know, and then, you know, I met BG Knockout later on, and it was just like, oh, yeah, that's crazy. Fast forward. And then it's cool to see how they influence other careers as well.
Yeah, now Drayster's a beast with that pen. Like, he's a writer. Like, he's a real writer. Like, he scribbles, and it comes natural and fast. He's a beast.
What's been, you know, one of your most rewarding moments in the game so far?
Most rewarding moments? I would say the most rewarding would probably be hearing your song on the radio. Like it's nothing like it. Like just to hear something that you created and knowing like you've made it to this level to where they're actually playing it on the radio, it is nothing like it. Like to where your family and friends can hear you on the radio. It's like, oh, okay, like you really, everything that you've done up until this point is kind of like validation, but it's not really validate. Well, it is validation, but it's like, damn, like everything we've worked for to get to this point, it's actually coming to life to where it's like, damn, like you on the radio, like, but the work doesn't stop there though. You can't just get on the radio and say, okay, I made it and get lax. Like, you got to go harder because you own the radio, because this is some young MC such and such that's ready to knock you out your spot.
Right. And something about the radio in today's time versus playlists, because playlists are taking over, the radio still gives you that superstar power. It's still the superstars that are on the radio. And you know, people can have all these millions of streams, but it's like until you're validated on a syndicated channel, it's a different talk. So,
and the thing, I didn't mean to cut you off. And the thing with the streams are great, don't get me wrong, but as far as publishing is forever. Publishing is forever. I don't care how the game change. Publishing is forever, to where you're getting residual checks from your music or content being played on the radio. If it actually goes, you're gonna be getting no checks forever. Streaming, you only, those streams, they talking what, 4,000, 3,000? Yeah, it looks good for the numbers, but what about the long term?
Facts.
The long term is it. That's what I'm in it for. I don't know about everybody else. I'm in it for the long term. And everybody talking about passive income, residuals is passive income. That's gonna keep coming forever.
You know, a lot of people don't know. I'm just gonna say it. I got privileged to learn this information. Back that ass up still makes $400,000 a year in publishing.
400,000 a year
in publishing.
Just we ain't doing nothing to it. It's just that's just what it's making.
Yeah, anything you do extra. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like publishing, publishing is forever, dog. And that's why companies fight so much to take so much of it, because they're going to be around to get, whether it's not the individual, but the company itself, whether it's sold or that business is going to be around to receive those publishing royalties. Like I just seen a clip the other day, I think it was last week. I think they said Tina Turner sold all her publishing or something of that nature for like 75 or 50 some million or whatever the number was. And I thought about it. I'm like, she's up in her upper 70s. She like, cash me out. I don't want y'all to because when I pass, y'all gonna snatch it up. So that publishing is forever. And for a company to give you 70 or 50, whatever that number was, how much do you think that they're gonna make off of that catalog?
Come on. I think Michael Jackson educated us all on how a catalog definitely does something, especially with a newer artist, and then also understanding where the music was going. And you know, it made everyone open their eyes to what to do.
Yeah, no, catalog is king. Like, don't get me wrong, streaming is great, but it's just something about, that's what I like about the old structure. It's just having that catalog and being able to get those residual checks, because they don't stop coming.
Facts.
They do not stop coming.
It's money while you sleep.
Man, for real, literally. What
is something people got fucked up about is child support fraud?
That's easy. People's idea of child support, it's related to a deadbeat person. Like when they hear child support, it's, oh, you're not taking care of your kids. Automatically. That's just, it goes together. And that's the misconception. It's like, nah, people get put on child support. Great fathers and mothers get put on child support. People that has been there from the doctor's appointment before the child was even born and every step of the way. Like everyone that I know, dog, that are my friends, take great care of their kids, and that are on child support, that were on child support. It's crazy how they obtain these support orders. Of course, they're unlawful, and that's my whole aim, to bring awareness to get that child support system reformed, because
yes.
I didn't want my success to be an individual success. So people automatically, when they think child support, they think deadbeat. It's like, oh, you're not taking care of your kids, or if you took care of your kids, you wouldn't be on child support. Like I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, if you take care of your kids, you wouldn't be on child support. No, that's a fucking lie. Take great care of these kids. My friends take great care of these kids, and they still on child support, or they were. So that's the biggest misconception about child support, that it relates to you being a deadbeat and you're not taking care of your kids.
See, for those that don't know, like personally, I have no child support issues, happily married. I held it down, still going. It's a blessing. But I got friends, I got brothers, I got all type of friends, like folks that have experienced this, where you have, you know, a woman that will go to the welfare office and claim it, and then don't put your name on there, but you're taking care of the kid, and then you got back order, back pay, and then you can't get your license. You can't get this. And then, you know, the whole thing is that with child support, where it's flawed the most is that it's whoever files it first. Whoever goes in and asks for aid first is who receives it. And a lot of the times there's, you know, backdoor opportunities, and people are getting those alley-oops to they get, you know, passive income. And I wish it was better in where the investigations would go further on, or if there was something to reform it. So I love what you're doing, and I love that you're taking the spotlight, especially in a state like California, where, you know, the mother is 100% supported versus the father.
Yeah, no, the thing about that is, just think about it like this. A person gets a loan from a company, but another person is forced to pay back that loan. That's what's happening. How am I forced to pay back a loan that somebody else got? How is that even legal? Because that's what's happening. You gave this person money. Why am I, my bad, that shouldn't have not came on, but yeah, why am I liable or obligated to pay back a loan that someone else got? How is that even possible? And the thing is, they have so many tricks to where, I was just telling someone else yesterday, like they have this thing to where you can go in just by you showing up, you're granting them jurisdiction over you and not even knowing it. Just by showing up, you made a general appearance. They're not going to tell you that, but that gives them jurisdiction over you, because child support is voluntary. A lot of people don't know that. I'm going to say this again. Child support is voluntary. Any information that you provide to them, you're giving it to them willfully and voluntarily. They may ask you, okay, they may give you a paper and say, here, sign this out, fill it out, give me your information, and you did it on your own. They're going to tell you in court, well, it's not court, in a hearing, well, this person made voluntary payments. They said that to me in my case. I objected so fast. Objection, those payments were not voluntary. They were made under duress. My license was suspended. I had bank levies on my bank account. They put holes on my passport, sending threatening license. If you don't pay, you're gonna go to jail. You can get fines. It's under duress. So they have a whole lot of tricks that they do, man, and it's unfortunate. Like even with the whole pandemic, like bringing it to recent, like they took so many people stimulus checks, and they wasn't supposed to do it, and they got caught, and they had so much backlash. So when the second stimulus came out, they changed the code and people were able to get them, but they still didn't release the first stimulus. Like, it's actually discrimination as well, because think about this. People, just say you owe a student loan. When you file your taxes, they're going to take your money. They're going to take your money. But when the pandemic happened, people with student loans, they were able to get the stimulus. They had it in the language. The only person that will not get the stimulus is a person that's on child support. That's discrimination. You can't do that. And on top of that, they took so much, they took everyone's unemployment check. When unemployment, you can't even touch it. Like, it's in the law that unemployment benefits can't be touched, and they know it. The only thing they're waiting on is you to say, hey, you took my money, give it back to me, which is crazy. I'm gonna take your money, even though I know it's unlawful, but I'm gonna wait for you to say, hey, you took my money and give it back to me, and then we'll give it back.
Yeah, it's a cold game.
Yeah, it's a real cold game.
TJ, you have made it through the show. Before we close out, the floor is yours. Run up what you want to run up, shout out what you want to shout out. You know, do your thing, player.
Man, look, I'm TJ with the Scar, and I don't know if you know, but on Sunday, my page got hacked. So we need to get this out there. My page got hacked. They it's crazy, man. They're in my DMs sending out messages to people telling them that, hey, I'm stranded, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Can you send me $100? Can you send me $200? Like, my people, some of my people hit me on the text like, yo, you good? What's up? I got this message. I'm like, nah, my page got hacked. Like, I don't have access to TJ_Wit_the_Scar. My original Instagram page is hacked. I don't have access to it. Instagram is notified of the shit. They're working on it. It's a process. So I created a new Instagram handle, just TJ with the Scar, no underscores. That's where we are until further notice. But if anyone DMs you from my page saying it's me asking for money, that shit ain't me, man. That's somebody else. The crazy part about it is they have full access to all of my information. Yesterday, the hacker emailed me and said, hey, do you want your account back or not? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, seriously, I have the email.
That's crazy.
Then they said, in order for you to get your account back, send me your driver's license, your social security number, and $170. $170. I said, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, fuck you. They literally asked for $170.
That's crazy.
Like, who does that? But I just wanted to get that out there, man. My old account, it was hacked. So you can follow me on TJ with the Scar, no underscores on Instagram, on Twitter. And that's where we are. Be looking out for the Is Child Support is Fraud documentary. The soundtrack was with the lead single with Game. We got that out running 2 times featuring Game and my homeboy Cole 1. We just shot the video. The video is going to be dropping real soon. And man, I got a big surprise for my second single. Is the shit is out. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's big. That's all I can say. TJ with the Scar, man. Just be looking out for everything that I got coming.
Now, TJ, if you notice, bro, my show is different. It's unique. They said over there, I got to have segments. I'm like, for sure, but I'm not going to do segments like y'all. And I'm like, how do I keep that same energy and close out? The viewers knows it's coming. I'm going to hit you with it. You got any questions for me?
I wasn't expecting that. That's great. So my question to you is, when you hear child support, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Who filed first?
Who filed first? And that's right. But people don't know is, even though you file first, there's still rules and procedures that you have to follow. Like, that's the whole thing of how I was able to get out of this situation. I use their evidence against them. So it don't matter what you filed or how you filed. If you didn't follow your own rules and procedures, and this is talking to the Child Support Administration, there's signatures that has to be there. There's things that has to be in place that has to take, they have steps that they have to follow. If they don't follow their own rules and procedures, everything after it never happened is null and void. So it doesn't matter who filed first. You can file first, but you better make sure that you file that shit right. Because if you don't, you're going to run into somebody like myself, and then the shit is going to be over with.
That's why everyone need to watch the documentary so you can get the game. You can get the sauce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your meal. On that note, it's Contrast Uncut. It's season 5. This is my child support fraud spotlight episode. You know, got the blessing and ability to chop it up with TJ with the Scar, and this brother let them diamonds fly at gyms. I'm talking about he had gyms the size of the Staples Center in this motherfucker, just going crazy. I appreciate you coming on, bro, rocking, being transparent. And, you know, everyone go run up that video as soon as it drops 2 times. All right, bro.
2 times.
Blessings, King.
All right, take it easy.